Rita and I had a misunderstanding, and it ended up leading to her becoming quite upset and angry and not willing at all to talk to me. But because she meant a lot to me and I wanted to be in relationship with her, I went over to her house. And as I got to the door, she walked up to me and said, "I don't know what you're doing here. I have nothing to say to you." But I went in the house anyway, and I sat at the kitchen table. And as she walked back and forth, kind of muttering a bit, she said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "I told you I came to be reconciled. And so I just want you to know I might be here for lunch. I may even be here for dinner until we can work this through." Well, after a few times of her walking in and out of the room, she sat down and we were able to talk through the whole misunderstanding. I could apologize for my role in it. She could hear me, and we ended up being friends. Not that there wasn't just a little bit of residue, but that was gone in a day or two. Sometimes there are people who are so important to us that we want to be reconciled as quickly as possible. We're called to always be people who forgive, and knowing that that can be a one-sided forgiveness sometimes where reconciliation isn't possible. But in order to come to the fullness of a relationship again, we need that reconciliation. We need that undoing of whatever it is we have done. Neil Douglas Klotz, in his book on the Aramaic Jesus, gives us one example of a possible Aramaic translation of the Lord's Prayer. It has these powerful lines in there where instead of saying, "Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us," he says, "Loose the cords of mistakes binding us as we release the strands we hold of another's guilt." Isn't that powerful language? Loose the cords of mistakes binding us as we release the strands we hold of another's guilt. I think of that when I look at the upcoming gospel for this weekend, which is raising Lazarus from the dead. After the conversation with the people and with Martha and Mary, he calls Lazarus to come out. And as Lazarus comes out, he is bound hand and foot. And Jesus says, "Untie him and let him go." Powerful sentence. Untie him and let him go. Untie all of those strands that are holding him bound, whether it be his physical health, whether it be any residue from past mistakes, lack of forgiveness, whatever it is. Untie all of that and let him go. Let him go free. Let him go into newness. And friends, again, what a powerful reminder for us as we seek out those areas to forgive others, to ask them to forgive us, to forgive ourselves, and perhaps even to forgive God, that we might picture ourselves bound hand and foot, or allowing whatever we have done, whatever we have failed to let go of, to still be holding us fast, and ask God to help us untie those so that we might go free, to help us untie anything that we hold against others so that we can help them go free as well. Those are the ways to lead to the newness of life that we see for Lazarus in our gospel today. And it's also the path for new life that we strive for during this Lenten season as we approach that new life of Easter.